Now, as you can see, there's still a lot of excitement when it comes to iPhone launches. Every year it happens, and every year it's the same thing. People are lining up, a lot of excitement and buzz going around. But with this year's new iPhones, something has changed about them. They're radically redesigned, but at the same time, they're also controversial. So this is John B with Tap Times, and this is our first hands-on look at both the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. First thing is, of course, the design. It's iconic because of the shape, the characteristics, the home button, rounded corners, edges, pretty much the same style you're familiar with. This really doesn't deviate much from that, with the exception of no more headphone jack. And that's obviously the biggest thing about the design this year. No headphone jack, meaning now, if you want to listen to music, it does come included with the earpods, the lightning cable earpods that connect directly to the bottom port here. And in addition, it does come with the adapter, so it goes from a lightning to a headphone jack. So you can still use your usual headphones, your wired headphones. But to me, that's just a little bit inconvenient because now not only you have to bring your phone, bring your headphones. Now you got to remember about the actual adapter itself, and if that gets lost, forget about it. You have to buy either a new one or purchase more money to buy a pair of Bluetooth headphones. And the other thing that people point out is being able to actually charge your phone and also listen to music. So that's the biggest difference. But in terms of the overall design, it's iconic. It has a more unified finish just because now you don't really see the antenna lines, and has just more. It blends in more, but you still kind of see it. It's very subtle. You have one right here by the camera, another one below here, pretty much on all four corners. But it's really tough to see. Now, the color that I got here is the black. Now, I did see the jet black color. This is one of two new colors that they introduced. They have the typical rose gold, gold, silver, and now you have black, no more space gray, and you also have jet black. Now, jet black I saw, to me, it reminded me more of a plasticky finish, and I was kind of disappointed by that because it didn't feel quite as sturdy, and it did attract a lot of fingerprints. It was super glossy. And to me, I guess it's typical for anything glossy to attract a lot of debris like that. But it's thinner, it's lighter, as they say. It's thinner because now they eliminated the headphone jack. You don't have to worry about that extra thickness in there. So they're able to compress the phone. Now, you might think that the battery life is compromised, but they say it is better than last year's model. So who knows if that's true or not. I'll be checking that out. Home button. The home button's very different. Now it's no longer a physical button. It's more like a capacitor button, but it's now utilizing the same 3D touch technology that you find with the display. So now if you want to go back to the home screen, you don't have that clicking sound, but if you push in, you get that feedback, that tactile feedback with the operation here. And you have a new camera here in the back. The camera's going to be interesting because, of course, they've talked about its low light performance, better quality, faster focus, all that. But to me, I still don't get why they couldn't make it flush. To me, it doesn't really mesh with the uniformity of the design. It sticks out, and when you look at the iPhone 4, the 4S, even the 5S, they're all flush. Now, if you're really into photography, you might want to think about going with the iPhone 7 Plus as opposed to the 7, because with the 7 Plus, you have that dual camera configuration. It gives you that optical zoom, that bokeh effect, but I'd imagine that this camera here is still going to be more than good enough. Besides that, the other thing about the iPhone out of the box, it runs very smoothly. That's typical of pretty much any iPhones that I've encountered. And the nice thing about it is that consistency remains, whether you put all your software in there, take a lot of photos and start piling up the memory. It still runs really fast, and right out of the box, of course, it's going to be fast. The display, though, not really a whole lot has changed, which is kind of unfortunate because still the same size, still the same resolution. I hope that, of course, it's brighter. It's tough to say now unless I check it out outside. But still great qualities in terms of viewing angles, colors. It has a good, it does attract you. It also has the 3D touch technology. But for VR and stuff like that, it would have been nice to see higher resolutions. But so far Apple hasn't mentioned anything about VR stuff. So that I could get, but to me, it means that it's behind the times in that regard. The other thing about the design, it is water resistant, IP67 I believe, so to an extent it has some water protection in that regard. So even if it gets wet a little bit, it's protected, which is kind of impressive because I think this is the first time I've encountered a phone that's made out of metal, you know, a metal chassis that is water resistant. You know, I've always thought maybe HTC would have done it with their metal designs, but I guess that was just a very tough thing to do in terms of a design standpoint. But you got to give Apple, you know, credit for being able to do that with the next generation iPhone. So that is the quick hands-on look at the new iPhone 7. I'll be checking it out more. Also check out our drop test videos of the two phones. And if you guys want to learn more, check out our website, taptimes.com. This is John V, signing out.